Here's a beginner's guide to glazing your pieces. The first step is starting off with a clean pot. You have to get the dust off, so I like to run it under some water, but you do have to let it dry completely for a couple hours or microwave it for 2 minutes. If you don't have the time, a sponge and a little bit of water can clean it up. Glaze is not the same as paint. It's a chemical, so you need to make sure that the dry mix is completely mixed up with the water. So go in there and mix it for a couple minutes, and then it's as simple as just dipping our pot in the glaze. You'll see I have some wax on the bottom here, and I'm gonna grab my pot with the tongs, and I'm just gonna dip it in for 2 to 3 seconds. Now, as I pull out, you're going to notice that that glaze starts to repel from my pot. And that's because I didn't let it dry long enough after wiping it down. So I'm going to wash it off and I'm going to microwave it for 2 minutes. And now that it's completely dry, you'll notice that it dries and soaks into my pot a lot quicker. Remember, you're dipping your bisque pieces, so you have to dip a pot that has been fired once first. Now, my second technique is to grab it from the edge, push down, and pop up really quickly, and that's going to flood the inside with glaze. You don't want to come all the way out of the liquid, you just want to come right to the surface. And as you do so, it's going to fill the whole thing in. When you do this method, you might leave some fingerprints with bare clay, so just go in and tap those spots there and add some glaze back onto your pot. Your cleanup is the most important step, so we're going to take a damp sponge and get rid of any glaze that may touch the surface of a table. You can go in, you can smooth any glaze bits out, and make sure you leave at least a credit card's thickness up your pot just in case your glaze starts to run down your pot. When you're using a glaze that needs to be brushed on, you're going to start with a clean pot as well, shake that glaze up, and you're going to do as simple as brushing it on 1 coat, let it dry, 2 coats, let it dry, 3 coats, let it dry. Don't be afraid to layer colors on top of each other to experiment with your glaze technique, and you can play with leaving bare clay. Don't forget to take good notes so that you can replicate a good glaze combo.